Then I told the Joker, blow it out of his laugh hole. Yes!
Hey guys, how you doing? It's so great to see you. It's awesome.
Oh God, no. So, who's this ass clown? Guys, this is Kyle. Yo, is that a purse?
This is my lantern. I'm part of the Green Lantern Corps. We're space police.
Oh, Jesus, would you just put that thing down?
Sure.
Ugh.
I did some super excited my own stop motion animation. Thank you, Batman.
Would you get off me? Seriously, what's with him? We just work together. Wow, you DCs really suck. Us, what about that jackass over there? He's been staring at the wall his whole skin. Yeah, he's retarded or something.
Misa Jar Jar Binks.
But yeah, this is why Marvel is way cooler than DC. Wait a minute, don't you work for a mouse? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Would you like to work for your overlord Mickey Mouse Master? Damn it, we gotta go. Well then, that was awkward.
Misa Jar Jar Binks. This is super wizard awesome.
Ugh.
Hello YouTube, UltraMaximus back with another toy review. Today we're taking a look at a Mattel figure, and it's the Retro Action DC Superheroes Kyle Rayner. As you can tell, this is a very plain box. If you ever ordered anything from Mattel Collector, you get this box a lot. It's just the shipping box. A lot of the Masters of the Universe figures I know come in this, which I have not ordered myself, but I might. I don't know. It just looks like another addictive line to get on. But I got this from Big Bad Toy Store. It was on clearance. I was on their website, I don't know, earlier this week and was seeing what was on the clearance shelf for 75 to 90% off. This was one of the figures. It said initially that this was $30, which I just can't believe that, but it was on sale for $6, and I figured, why not? This would be good for the stop motion stuff that I do. Looking at this box, it's got the Retro Action logo up there. It says Kyle Rayner, very bland. It's got the Mattel logo down there. It says Adult Collector right there. There's really nothing else on the box, all the warnings and logos and that kind of stuff back there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the exterior box. Let's go ahead and get this thing open and see what's inside. So here we have Kyle Rayner out of the package, but still in the package, which is really kind of weird. This is what you get inside the box, and I really, really do like this. I have seen these figures in comic book stores and at Toys R Us before, but I don't think I've ever seen a Kyle Rayner. I remember seeing a lot of Guy Gardners at one point in time. But on this particular card, we get the Retro Action Superheroes logo up here. This wave came with Guy Gardner, John Stewart, Sinestro, and then of course Kyle Rayner. We got the Green Lantern logo. I really like this look. It looks like the old Mego figures of the past, which is very cool. And of course was made popular by Robot Chicken using them in the stop animation shorts on Cartoon Network. And the other really cool thing is we get this nice artwork of kind of the 90s and looks like late 80s of some of the characters here, and it's on an old vintage card, and there's a lot of distress that they put onto the paint, which definitely looks cool. I really do appreciate that. So just kind of a close-up here. There's the Retro Action logo, Guy Gardner. That and John Stewart, they look like they're probably artwork from the late 80s. We've got Sinestro and Kyle, artwork from the 90s. The Green Lantern logo. I just love this distressed look in the paint. If you look along the white line, you can kind of see it bleeds through. Kyle Rayner up there is the same way. There's the figure, looking all kinds of cool. He comes with a lantern. Didn't know that. Very cool. Here is the back of the package, which really doesn't have too much going on. It's got the full body work of the characters that we saw on the bubble on the front. Of course, we've got Sinestro, we've got John Stewart, we've got Kyle Rayner, and then Guy Gardner, and that's really about it. You got the Sad Baby, Mattel, the Mattel little Matty Collector guy down there, so that's kind of cool. Definitely digging that, so just kind of look, and Sinestro, really like that artwork for Sinestro. I don't know, except for the logo, I wish it was just the regular Lantern logo like it was back in the day. I'm old. John Stewart looking cool. Love that Kyle Rayner. And then Guy Gardner. He's always a fun character, kind of an ass. But yeah, definitely pretty fun. That's pretty much it for the box. Let's go ahead and get Kyle out of the package and see what we think. And here we have Kyle out of the package, and I really, really like it. Now, the one thing I will say about the box, at the bottom of the feet, you can take a knife and kind of cut it open and then run a slit up the side and get the figure out without damaging the box too bad, which was really nice. I do appreciate that when they do that for us. But looking at this guy, I mean, he's pretty cool if you like the old retro style stuff. I'm a big fan of Robot Chicken, and of course I got this for my stop motions. He's going to be one of Batman's antagonists, I think, which is going to be a lot of fun. But he stands pretty well. He's about 8 inches tall, I would say, in that scale range. He comes with the lantern, which, again, I didn't realize, and the lantern's really, really cool. Look at all the detail here in a minute, but he's got the classic Kyle Rayner outfit from the 90s, which is definitely looking pretty cool. The oversized mask that he had, which was nice, and then he's got these like cloth gauntlets, which is cool. The rubber boots, and then he's got the little clothing bit here, and it feels very similar to the clothing that we got on the Mezco Batman, which is pretty cool. I definitely like it. It's got the little buttons, kind of like the old Mego figures. I mean, they did a pretty good job emulating those old school figures from like the 70s and 80s. I really, really do dig that. As far as articulation goes, this guy actually has some pretty decent articulation. I'm going to take the lantern off for a second so we can look at his posability. Let's get him a little bit closer here. So his head can move back and forth. He has no motion up and down. It is a retro figure. He does have a ball socket joint in his shoulder there, which is very, very cool. And then it can move up and down. It is hampered a little bit by the cloth, but more so by the tightness of that joint, which is not a bad thing. He's got a single joint in his elbows. His wrists can spin. They can also move on a hinge, so that's pretty cool. He has no waist articulation, no ab crunch or anything like that. He does have joints on his hips, but they're kind of spring-loaded, which is interesting. I think there's a rubber band or something up in the body. I don't know. He does have a knee joint, which is pretty cool, and then his feet do swivel down at the bottom, and there is nothing on the ankle. So that's pretty much Kyle in a nutshell, looking pretty darn cool. Looking at the lantern really fast, it's just a little hunk of plastic, but I like how it's his lantern. It's not Hal Jordan's. It's a very different lantern. It's a very cool design, very alien looking. I really do appreciate that, and they put a lot of detail into that accessory piece. So let's go ahead and take a closer shot of Kyle. So taking a close-up shot of Kyle's face, I think it works really well. It definitely captures that old school look, but the mask for sure looks like it did in the comics. I really like it. He's got kind of a grimacing looking mouth going on there. His ears are done pretty well. The hair sculpt's not too bad. It's all one color, but it is molded pretty well. But again, this is supposed to look like an old retro figure, so it shouldn't have all that much detail. So I'm really surprised it's got all the nice detail that it really, really does. So looking at the midsection of the figure, I really like the green gauntlets. The uniform looks good with the flat black and the painted on white with that Neo lantern that just looks really, really nice. And then they got the ring painted onto his hand and sculpted on there. I think that looks really, really cool. Very retro, very cool, very nice. I think they did a good job with it. And then, of course, you know, the back of the figure is pretty much just half black, half white. And we got the little button snaps for the clothes to give it that kind of retro vibe. And taking a look at the waist area, again, here's his other hand that matches where he can hold his lantern, looking pretty cool. The paint's not too bad. I don't know if the hand is exactly right to the comic, but I definitely like how he's got the one-piece black suit, looking pretty cool. And, well, frankly, the rest of it's all just black here. And there's his little Green Lantern booty. And finally, taking a look at his boots. These are pretty high. They go up to his knees. The boots are made of a soft rubber, which is really nice. I like how the front of the boot kind of flares up over the kneecaps. That's pretty cool. And there's really not much else going on as far as the boots go. There's not much definition. They are boots. It is supposed to look like the old 70s Mego figure, and I think that captures it pretty well here. But the nice thing is he stands very well on his feet. For size comparison, Here we have the retro Kyle Rayner next to a Marvel Legends Iron Man in the Mark 43 armor from the 6-inch scale. So you can kind of see the size difference on these guys. He's about an inch and a half taller than old Iron Man is here, maybe a full 2 inches. But he's definitely in the 8-inch scale where this guy is in the 6-inch. Here we got Kyle next to a Build-A-Figure from the 6-inch Marvel Legends line. This, of course, is King Thor. And Thor is a lot bigger than some of the other 6-inch figures, but he's still not as tall as the retro Lantern here. Here we have Kyle next to a 6-inch Black Series Kylo Ren. It's Kyle and Kylo. See what I did there? Definitely pretty cool sitting next to each other, but again, this guy is just in a much taller scale than the 6-inch lines. And here we have Kyle, the retro Lantern, with my KO Groot. And this, of course, is the knockoff Build-A-Figure Marvel Legends line. And the real Bath figure is maybe about an inch taller, I think, than this one. So Kyle is definitely in the 8-inch scale. And finally, here's the comparison everybody wants to see. How does this match up to the Mezco Batman? Well, I don't know if everybody wants to see it, but I do. And yeah, he's a lot taller than Batman, but he's a lot lankier than Batman too. I like how they have very similar costumes and the fact they both got the cloth costumes and they look like they're almost made out of the same material, which is nice. And they're able to, pose very easily in those outfits, and I do appreciate that in an action figure. They're definitely going to be a lot of fun in the stop motions together. So is the Mattel Retro Kyle Rayner Green Lantern a figure that you want in your DC collection? If you don't like the retro figures or the Mego figures, this is a very easy pass for you, I'm going to say. If you are a Kyle Rayner completist, you're probably going to like this. But if you do like the old goofy retro figures, this is definitely something to take a look at. At the time of this recording, it is on sale at Big Bad Toy Store for about $6 and some change, which I think is a perfectly reasonable price for this figure. I think they were overpriced to begin with, which is probably why he just kind of sat there, but for $6, this is actually a fun little figure to add to your collection, and it wouldn't be bad for kids either. So there he is, the Kyle Rayner Retro Green Lantern.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you like this video, thumbs it up. If you hate this video, thumbs it down. To watch more Ultra Maximus, click on the links to the right. Don't forget to subscribe and share, and as always, look for more videos in the future.